Well, hello gang, and welcome back once again to another video on The Long Dark. In today's video, we are focusing on the June Dev Diary, which came out Friday. I was hoping to have this video out yesterday, but you know, things got in the way and... Anyway, so let's dig straight on into it. As I'm sure most of you are probably most concerned? Or more hyped about, more interested in, would be news on episode 3, and we do get a little bit of news. No release date yet, so if you came here just to hear that, you've heard it. Wrap has given us some information though about kind of the progress they've been making. They're no longer giving out release dates until it's absolutely ready to ship. So he's pretty hesitant to put a label on how far they've progressed, but he does give us some information. They've got basically all of the main story and mission content is basically in place, and what they're doing is focusing right now on playtesting and bug hunting in terms of what the team's working on, whereas what he's doing is he's going in and playing through the episode over and over and making sure everything's paced right, it's edited correctly, that the dialogue covers what choices the player would have and react to how the player would make those choices. Do they need more dialogue? To take some dialogue out? Does this feel right? Is there not enough going on here? So for that, there's a lot of fine-tuning to go on, and so that's what he himself is working on primarily, whilst the team is more working on playtesting and bug hunting. And they're also doing a lot more of a front pass over everything to make sure that save files, mission objectives, everything is loading and saving properly. So that's what they're primarily working on, and what they have in store is probably about 5 hours of gameplay, so comparable to episode 2 for the main story, plus an additional 2 to 4 of side mission content. There's a lot of variability in this metric though, because of how different players play the game and what difficulty they're playing on. But we should see a decently long episode. So with all 3 episodes put together, you're looking at roughly 15 hours minimum. And we still, after this episode, we'll have 2 more to go. Now, this next bit, they're not giving us a whole lot of details on episode 3, but they give us a little bit. Now, we're not sure on these next bits, whether these are going to trickle down to Sandbox mode yet or not. But I'm certainly hoping they do, or even if it's not in this specific update that they come down to Sandbox mode, that they do in a future update later on. But there's some interesting things they're adding to story mode. There will be a new predator as you play in episode 3, known as Timberwolves. They're far tougher and smarter than the average wolf, and they don't typically hunt alone. So maybe we might actually be beginning to see pack mechanics implemented, plus just a tougher version of the wolf. We'll have to wait and see. And again, we'll have to wait and see if that comes to Sandbox as well. And they've added a new flare. It's a blue flare, and as you can guess by the name, it casts an eerie little glow. I'm not sure how useful this will be or what its point is, etc. I'm sure we'll find out once episode 3 lands though. As with everything they've been working towards here, they're adding a new little bit of section to Pleasant Valley, known as Thompson's Crossing. It will be a former mining town. It looks to be kind of in the area between the Pleasant Valley Farmstead and Signal Hill Tower, somewhere down there near the bridges. Hard to say for certain, we'll have to wait and see, but that looks to be about where it's positioned. So that's what's going on with story mode. With the next survival mode, mind you, we just had Steadfast Ranger come out earlier, just several weeks ago. They're working on a new region for the next survival mode update, but they're not positive that will be released in it. They've still got a lot of stuff they're working on towards it, but if it can be released in the next one, it will. They're not giving us much to say, any information hardly on it, except for they're still sticking with an approach of using each new region they've been releasing since, I think since Forlorn Muskeg, to support a different sort of play style or gameplay theme. So for example, with Hushed River Valley, we had complete wilderness survival with no man-made structures coupled with extreme verticality, whereas Forlorn Muskeg was making it hard to navigate by removing most of the ground, i.e. you've got the weak ice, coupled with bad weather, fog, and such. So we'll see what happens with this next region. I'm excited to see what is going to be going on with that. If you are a Switch owner, we've got good news. They're making great progress on Switch. They've been working close in hand with Unity, the makers of the underlying engine that the Long Dark is powered by, to be able to bring performance to the Switch that is acceptable. They're looking to get a minimum of 30 frames a second, and right now they're not hitting that. But when they do, and when they get all the bugs cleared out, then we may actually begin to see a push towards a Switch port as well, which is pretty exciting, especially for those of us who might have mobile lives and, be entrepreneurs or businessmen flying planes or businesswomen flying planes, and traveling the world and wanting to catch up on the Long Dark while in flight. Anyway, that's actually pretty much all the information they've given us so far of everything in this dev diary, which is kind of a lighter dev diary than most, but that's because they're kind of at a specific period in development where they don't want to spoil too much of what's coming. So it is exciting to see some of these changes they're adding to story mode, or with the new episode, and hopefully we'll see these trickle down to Sandbox mode as well. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I will catch you guys in the next one.